Hey, it's Brad. So I am counting down the top 5 most interesting shows I've been to, out of all the concerts I've been to over the years. So let's keep going. Number 4. This category we're just going to call Foo Fighters. It's very strange that I have several Foo Fighters concert stories, even though I've only actually seen them in a proper concert once. So part 1. This goes back to the very first year of Foo Fighters. That first album kind of came out of nowhere for me. I hadn't been paying attention. I'd seen Dave play drums for Tom Petty on SNL once, recognized him, and other than that, I had no idea what he was doing. So I heard this new song and heard it was by this band called Foo Fighters. I loved it, and then I found out who it was, and I was really excited. And so bought the album, loved it, still like that. I think that's one of my favorite Foo Fighters albums, and so I bought tickets to see them in Austin Music Hall on their very first tour. And really excited about it. I just moved to Austin, didn't know anybody, so to have somebody to go with, I actually called up one of my friends from my hometown, told him, I'd buy the ticket, come down, and we'll go to the show. It's on a Saturday night, so it all worked out. So he came down, and so Friday night, I had to kill time in Austin. And I had to pretend like I knew what I was doing, to be honest with you, because I might as well have been a tourist. I was so new to Austin. I didn't know anybody. I had a job that was like in the computer field, and I worked with a bunch of nerds. Nobody wanted to hang out. I just hadn't made any friends down there yet. So we go down to 6th Street, and I don't really know anybody. I don't know any of the clubs. I can't get into any of the clubs. So we just wander around 6th Street all night and, get approached by people that are either asking us for money or trying to get us to join a cult outside of town. And we're like the only people who actually have conversations with the people that most people try to avoid, because we're young, we're country kids, we're stupid, and so we just wander around there for hours, back and forth and back and forth. And so really that was it. That was our Friday night. So now it's Saturday. It's time for the concert. We killed time during the day, and now it's time for the show. And I drive down to Austin Music Hall, never been there before, have no problems finding it, but it's just dark. And there's no problem finding a parking spot. And we walk up to Austin Music Hall, and it's just this big, gigantic, closed building. There's no lights on, nobody's there. It's a pretty dead part of town back then, at least. And obviously there's not a concert. And so I'm like, oh my God, they canceled. And then I pull out the tickets and looked. The concert was the night before, when we were walking around 6th Street like idiots. So I missed Foo Fighters on the first tour. I felt stupid. I'm sure my friend thought I was an idiot. I just ate the cost of the tickets. And I always said that I'm going to right that wrong one day. I'm going to go see Foo Fighters. But it became a whole ordeal because, as everyone knows, they got really popular, and it became like a big arena concert, and it became in demand, and it became expensive. And, I don't know. I mean, they would be on the calendar. I'd see them come in, and I'm like, I'll just go next time. And so that was a wrong I needed to right at some point. So, fast forward to mid-20-teens. I had since moved to the East Coast. I'm working in New York City at Madison Square Garden, and I find out that the Foo Fighters are going to play 4 nights in a row on the David Letterman show. It's free. You have to enter a kind of a ticket lottery to get in. but I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And I was really excited about it. So I filled out the form. I said I could go any of the 4 nights. And sure enough, somebody called me up, and they were nice enough, but they asked me like a trivia question about the show to make sure that I was actually a fan. I didn't really know the answer, but they kind of helped me through it. They could tell I wasn't crazy. And then they just said, okay, there's going to be you get a +1. Somebody's got to come with you. Don't bring 2 people. Don't bring 0 people. Bring 1 person. And they're just very, very straightforward that this is how it works. You have to bring 1 person. You have to give us that person's name. That has to be the person that shows up. So all of it seems pretty straightforward. So I talked to one of my friends who is also in IT. I used to work with him, but he worked at a different company now. And he said he can go. We're all good. So I'm excited. And I'm about to go pick up the ticket. And he texts me and says he can't make it. He had some kind of an outage situation at work. He can't make it. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to suck. So I go anyway, and I give my name, and they're like, okay, where's your +1? And I'm like, well, my +1 can't make it. And they're like, well, you said your +1's going to be here. Where's your +1? And this became the theme of the next 45 minutes before the show actually started taping, over and over again. Where's your +1? I get into this really big long line, and they tell us, okay, it's going to be like Noah's Ark, 2 by 2. Get next to your +1. And I'm starting to get kind of anxious. I feel very conspicuous because now you've got this line of like 2, 2, 2, 1, and here's me. And, they've got these kind of interns camped out at these little checkpoints as you're going through. Every single one of them. Where's your +1? Sorry, my +1 couldn't make it. Oh my God, where's your +1? You're supposed to have a +1. Okay, so I really felt like the dog at the dog park with the plastic cone around its neck. Like everybody's staring at me. It's very awkward. And as we go through there, eventually we get to this room where they get 20 people at a time, and they see how well you cheer on demand. And if your group cheers well, they'll move you kind of to the front. So, you could hear people as we're getting closer. You would hear, yeah, cheering behind this closed door. So now it's our turn, and we get in there, and already the first thing they said, why is there only 19 people in here? There's supposed to be 20. I didn't bring my +1. Oh my God. And so it's brought up again. And then not only are we understaffed, but we have a terrible group. Like, there's a guy with an oxygen tank. There's like some people that are like tourists from overseas that don't speak English, that don't even understand what they're supposed to be doing. And I realize on top of all that I am not good at faking enthusiasm. Like they're like, okay, we're gonna go like this, and when I go like this, you all cheer. And I'm like, yeah, I can't fake it. I would be a terrible actor because I could not do it. So I know we're gonna get terrible seats. So now we're getting close to where we're finally going to enter the theater. And when I get in, 2 by 2, we get up to this girl, and she's like, where's your +1? And I'm like, my +1 couldn't make it. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad. She's like, we have an odd number of seats on the front row tonight. And so just go down to the front. It's on the very left. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting front row seats. So I get down there, and I am camped out right in front of Paul Schaefer's keyboard. I can reach out and I can touch the big cabinet where all his keyboards and stuff are on. And that was a whole thing in itself. Like that, the David Letterman band, Paul Schaefer's band, when it goes to commercial, you would hear kind of the band play, and then it goes to commercial, and then they're kind of ending the song when it comes back. Well, when you're there, you get like a full song, and it's just awesome. And it's like these world-class musicians, and yeah, so I'm just loving that. And I almost forgot, oh yeah, I get to see Foo Fighters. So they come out, and they're right in front of me, and I'm just lined up, just looking right at them. And I would say I'm about 20 feet from Dave Grohl. And actually Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick sat in on guitar. He's right in front of me. And yeah, and they debuted this new song. It was really cool. And Rick threw out a guitar pick. I brought this for show and tell. I still have it. Yeah, so it was really cool. And then when I left, I didn't know which way the train was, and I walked around the corner, and it ends up that I was looking right at Dave Grohl's guitar, and they were like loading out, and I ended up meeting Pat. Band was out there kind of chilling and talking to people, and I just kind of hung around, part of the conversation. I know when Dave Grohl came out, it was like paparazzi just appeared and cameras started flashing. He was on a whole different level, had a whole different energy going on. Yeah, it just seemed very, very much, it didn't look fun to be him. It just looked very like his whole life is just kind of artificial. Like it seemed like that he was constantly had to be in character, and they started asking him questions about some rumors about some record deal and something, and he gave them a very kind of measured political response. And yeah, but yeah, that was, but other than that, you know, that was really cool. That was a very cool concert experience. It was also cool seeing David Letterman. One thing I noticed is, you know, when he came out, to kind of warm people up, he would kind of just say, "Hey, anybody have any questions? Who wants to talk?" And people would just raise their hand and be like, "Hey, where's your favorite place to eat?" You know, and he would ask them questions about themselves. He ended up having a whole conversation in the crowd with this teacher from Indiana, and you know, she was talking about you know, what goes on at her job and all this stuff, and it was really cool. And then when the show started taping, he actually brought up what they said, what that teacher had said, and it was kind of like an inside joke for the crowd, and everybody kind of laughed. But I knew that there's no way that TV land, the people that are watching on TV, would have any idea what he's talking about. And I realized, I thought back to how many times over the years David Letterman would say something that I would hear the crowd laugh at, that I had no idea what he was talking about. And it was just this kind of cool little inside joke thing he had going with the studio audience. So I thought that was really cool. A little off subject, but why not while we're here. Anyway, checked off that Foo Fighters box. I did eventually see them at a real concert at the Met Stadium with Royal Blood on the Dave Grohl Broken Leg tour. I think I've checked off all my Foo Fighters boxes, so I'm good probably from here on out.